into Road to the College Cup. I'm Sam Neidermann, joined by player analyst John Bannec. My friend, great to see you. How you doing today?
Good to see you too, Sam.
All righty, let's rock and roll. You know what we do. We talk all things Hoosier soccer. Let's go back to last week. Indiana on the road against Maryland. Their new rivals and a tough result. 3-0 loss. How'd the team respond to that, though?
Well, the immediate response, Sam, was pretty dull. There wasn't even a press conference afterwards on the game. It was tough. We went back to the hotel. We had a long team meeting, and you could tell that there was a lot of, just bad emotions coming across, and people needed to call other people out, and sometimes that's what you need from a team. And after that, I think we woke up the next morning and we put the loss behind us. We realized what we needed to change. We had talked about it, and from there, we had a couple of the best practices that we've had all season, and it was all focused on toughness and tenacity, something that we were lacking Friday night in College Park.
Indiana's head coach, Todd Yeagley, called on his team to respond. Here's what he had to say following the defeat.
It was a tough loss. Indiana is not used to lose game in the Big Ten. Coach is being pretty, I'd say, positive about it because, obviously we cannot win every single game. So we will learn from that game, and hopefully we won't lose any other game. And like I said, we get the championship and go to the national championship.
You can't overanalyze those and go, boy, just the obvious is 3-0. They got some bounces, and we didn't seem to get a deflection on the day. Didn't seem to get a break. We could have created a few more of those breaks, so a little bit of both. So yeah, I'm not disappointed that there's alarms going off. We lost 3-0, but it did kind of pull a few scabs off of areas that, we've not been as good as we need to be. Let's go back and visit that.
A lot of emotion for the Hoosiers after that Maryland loss. Todd Yeagley challenged his team to dig a little bit deeper and go to those areas where they can improve, and you guys certainly did.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Sam. The immediate reaction after the Maryland game was not the best. And then from there, we honestly had two of the toughest and most sharp, focused practice that we've had all year. It was filled with everyone just locked in, playing well, and it translated into a great performance in the Evansville game. And Coach Yeagley talked specifically on a few things that he needed to see us improve on and some scabs that we needed to pull off and do better with. And specifically that was, as I mentioned earlier, toughness and tenacity. And especially from these freshman players that a lot of them don't know what Indiana soccer is coming in right away, compared to a lot of the upperclassmen who they have been here a while. They know what that means. They know what they need to bring every game. And having that experience against Maryland and that bounce-back attitude, these freshmen came out and they played a lot tougher. Also, another thing that we needed to improve on as a team was our final third. Before the Maryland goal, we lived in our final third. We lived in that 25 yards from their goal, but we couldn't get any shots off. We weren't producing anything, and then they scored and they took all the momentum and they ran with it. And that's something Todd Yeagley wanted to see us improve on. And in the Evansville game, you were seeing shots from left and right. It was incredible, Sam. And when it comes down to it, we bagged goals, in the words of Sam Neidermann.
They bagged them indeed. A lot of good finishing for the Hoosiers. A 5-1 victory over Evansville with 5 different goal scorers, John. But the last one had to be the sweetest moment with Trey Capsalis.
It was the sweetest moment for the entire team. You think about a guy like Trey Capsalis. He's a walk-on. His father was a walk-on. He played here in the 80s. He always talks about how hard it is to be a walk-on and to become a captain, and he did that, and he always wanted that for his son. And Whitey, his father, would come and talk to us before Trey was even on the team, so it was fun to see Trey get on the team, and then he gets his first minutes. All these guys on this team are working for those red shirts to be able to get into the game. You could ask any of them. That's why they wanted to run up the score, not to help them with their confidence, but to get us into the game. And you get the red shirts into the game, and Trey Capsalis scores on his second touch. It was unbelievable. You also can ask anyone on the team. We have never celebrated harder for a goal than that night with Trey Capsalis in the 89th minute in a 5-1 game. You wouldn't expect it, but that's what happened. And it was great to see, and it really showed the unity of this team. And it might be exactly what this team needed to come together and to really focus and push forward through coming into the end of the Big Ten regular season.
Oh, it was a special moment and a really fun night all around for the Hoosiers. Hey, Coach, what'd you think about your team's performance?
You can't fool them in saying this is going to be one of the toughest games of the year. It would be more of, we just got to make sure we come out and compete, and then things will take care of itself. And man, we were not worried about competition today. Our inner competition. These guys were ready. You could see it yesterday and training the day before. I mean, we really got after them and challenged them about, some of the lessons we learned from Maryland. And again, that wasn't really a poor performance, but it was a taste that they don't want to feel again.
Thomas, what do you think of Victor's setup there for your goal there?
Great pass. For a second, I thought it was offsides, honestly, but that far side center back kept me on. Great finish. Him and I work a lot on trying to move off of each other, just make little runs. We're getting that connection more and more each day, that chemistry. He saw me dart, played a great ball. I was able to finish.
For Indiana, Rutgers is in town tonight. It's a 7 p.m. kickoff on BTN+. John, when you look at the Scarlet Knights, what's the scouting report?
Well, the last team we played in the Big Ten was Maryland. It was a tough match, but Maryland really came at us with toughness. They came at us with speed and just a harder work ethic than we had. And Rutgers, it's going to be a completely different story. They're a very technical team, very tactical team. They like to pass the ball around. They have one player in particular on their left wing, Pablo Avila. And he's from Spain, and he's had a few goals this year, and he really loves to cut in on his right, and he likes to take on defenders at speed, so we're really hoping that Simon can shut him down, and if anybody can shut him down, Simon Waver can shut him down. So moving forward with that, from the offensive side, they're not very good defensively. They really depend on their technical and tactical transition, so hopefully we can catch them on the counterattack. Also, on corner kicks, it'd be really nice for us to try and hit what we call the one spot, which is the near post run. Don't repeat that and don't let this out to any other teams, but it's our one spot, near post run. We usually send AJ to that spot, and he looks for a flick on to the back post, which creates a lot of rumbling, and put it in the mixer down there during the corner kicks. And if we can do that, we've seen that. We think that that'll be really effective against Rutgers tonight.
Basically sounds like Daniel Muni's go-ahead goal against Wisconsin, right?
Yes, exactly.
St. Louis is St. Louis. Good flick from Palazzolo. Go watch the replay on that one. Well, this is also a big match in the league table. Indiana's down by a point still to Penn State for first place in the Big Ten, but the Hoosiers have a game in hand. How crucial is this one for the conference goals of the team?
This game is a lot more crucial than a lot of people think. And right now we control our own destiny. But let's say we drop a couple points and we tie tonight. Well, then all of a sudden we have 2 games left. Penn State has 2 games left as well. And we don't have a title in hand, an outright title. And if we get to the end of the season and we don't have our own outright title, it's going to be a little bit of a disappointment, especially with the way we've set up the season so far. So tonight's 3 points are huge. We need to come out strong. We need to try and find that fire from after the Maryland game that we brought to Evansville and really keep it and take it tonight against the Scarlet Knights.
Oh, it's going to be a fun one. It's at Jerry Yeagley Field. Kickoff at 7 p.m. on BTN Student Use. Should be a great match. Indiana and Rutgers. We'll talk to you next week on Road to the College Cup for our producer, Jordan Gould. John Bannec making his show debut today. Great job, my friend.
Thanks for having me, Sam.
I'm Sam Neidermann. We will see you then.